Okay, so today we are going to do a voiceover recording, and this mostly is just to get you using a microphone and the Alesis IO4 digital audio interface. So the first thing we need to do is set up our IO4, so let's go to that right now. Okay, today we are going to need a lot of things. We're going to need the IO4, which is by your keyboards. You're going to need this power supply, it's this skinny power supply. You're going to need a USB cord, same one used in the keyboard. You're going to need an SM58 mic and a cord that you learned how to wrap, even though this one is not wrapped very well. First, plug in the power. Then, plug in the USB. Then I'm going to plug this into the microphone. And here, the other end of the microphone. Into here. This switch, 16-bit, make sure the power is on so you can see a blue light up here. Switch this to mic, the gain almost all the way up, mono can be here, phantom power down. Okay, so now we're back and I've got GarageBand open. We are going to now do a new project, an empty project, and it's going to, at this point, it's going to be a little bit different than what you do, but I'm going to plug in the Alesis in right now, and let's see what happens. When that happens, you'll see that it says something new has come up, and then you'll probably get this, and it says the IO4 has been plugged in. Do you want to use it? And you're going to say yes. I like to wait until the GarageBand is open before I plug the IO4 in. It just tends to work a little bit better. If you can't get the IO4 to work, unplug the USB and plug it back in. That's rule number one of anything. Okay, now we're going to see a couple of different options here, but mostly what we're going to want is input 1, because that's where we plugged in our microphone. These are stereo channels. We don't want to use that. We want input 1 right here from your IO4. And then you're going to create that track. Now, this button here is new. This is what's called the monitor button. And if everything is working correctly, you should be hearing sound through this when you're here. I might have to, for some reason, sometimes I have to start recording before we hear it for the first time. But now you can see I'm tapping on the microphone and there's plenty of sound coming through the device. Okay, so then when you do that, you'll hear your own sound, your own voice coming through the speakers or through your headphones. If you're using external speakers and you start to get feedback, you can turn that off and you won't hear the microphone coming through your headphones. But right now, we do. Okay, so you don't want it to all the time be in the red, and you don't want it to be way down in the green where you can just barely hear it. You want it to be somewhere right about the loudest you sing probably puts it maybe into the red, okay? Or speak, whatever you want to do. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go up to loops, and you're going to click the button that says jingles. And what this is are a bunch of different, anywhere from 15-second to 10-second to 50-second little sort of jingles that you might hear playing behind a commercial on a radio or TV show. For example, here's this one called Greasy Wheels. No, hold on, sorry. Right now, you can ignore this part. I'm just getting this so you can hear the sound. So that's one example, and that's a really short one. The one that I'm going to look for is something called broadcast news, and I'm going to pick the medium one. Here's what it sounds like. Okay, so that's basically like what we hear as an introduction to a news show, and that's the one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to drag that down and make a new track. And then I'm going to make sure that this track is highlighted up here because that's where I'm going to record. I'm going to let the count in happen just because I want you to hear what it sounds like, but it'll actually click tracks as we're getting ready here. And then you'll be able to hear it won't click once the recording starts. Okay, so I'm just going to make up some sort of news show here, and this is what you're going to do when, and it can be a commercial, it could be a news show, it can be funny, it just has to be school appropriate. So let's give this a shot.
Tonight on Channel 3 News. Mystery in Millard South. What happened to Mr. Stevens' snake cup? We may never know the answer.
Yeah, that was exciting. Okay, so now when you play it back, you can hear how it went. I'm going to make this...
Tonight on Channel 3 News.
There it is. Now, a couple of fun things that you can do. If you click on this knob right here, no, wrong one. If you click on this drawer right here, and you're highlighted this top line, this is where we can have some fun things happen. These are different effects that you can put on the voice. So I'm going to isolate just the voice, and I'm going to put, first of all, if it's just normal, it's going to have a kind of a dry sound. But if we even put the narration voice on, then you're going to get a little reverb.
Tonight on Channel 3 News. Mystery at Millard South. What happened to...
Okay, now, if we put the telephone vocal on.
On Channel 3 News. Mystery at Millard South.
You can make it fuzzy.
What happened to Mr. Stevens' snake?
Okay, the tracking vocal is also kind of weird. Let me go back to the beginning.
Tonight on Channel 3 News.
And then they have all these experimental ones, which are just kind of funny. Like if I had a high voice.
Tonight on Channel 3 News.
Okay. Also the monster one. The deeper one with as low as my voice already is just obnoxious.
What happened to Mr. Stevens' snake cup? We may never know the answer.
Okay. Robot vocal.
What happened to Mr. Stevens' snake cup? We may never know the answer.
Now, if you go to that knob that I was trying to show you before, now you can make more robot-y.
What happened to Mr. Stevens' snake cup?
Okay. Or even on the deeper vocal, you can make the pitch more pronounced.
What happened to Mr.
Stevens' snake cup?
We may never know the answer.
Okay. So you can really kind of mess with all the individual controls and make it as weird as you want. Okay. So that's basically all you have to do. It's really meant more for you to learn how to use the IO4 with a microphone than the final project. So don't worry about your commercial being great. Just worry about being able to get sound to come through. All right. Have fun.